Hello gang, my name is Roxane Webster. I'm with My Home Team and Keller Williams. And we are going to test run our first remote open house. And this is a part of the entire campaign and package we have put together for both buyers and sellers in order to get your house sold without anybody having to leave their homes as we're all increasingly being restricted. So I think that the key to doing this well, in addition to this remote open house where we're going to give you a really in-depth view of what this house looks like, we're going to show you all the cracks, we're going to show you all the farts in the corners, because that's just the way we roll, and that's the only way that we could ever consider putting together a deal with somebody who may not actually get into the property. In addition to this, what we have been doing is remote consultations. We can go over with you everything we do to get your house sold or help you buy a house remotely using Zoom. Woohoo! Oh, don't we wish we bought Zoom stock, gang? And then also after that, we can do a remote inspection. Our inspector does a 30-plus page inspection report that will be sent to you directly. The sewer scope, the radon test can all be done remotely so that you as a buyer can be making decisions based upon those reports. And as a seller, you don't have a lot of people coming in your home. We are respecting the Colorado Association of Realtors recommendations to cease all live open houses, but we will not be stopped by such a thing. So I'm going to get started right now on our tour of this house, which, full disclosure, is my house. I'm putting it on the market, and the address of this property is 9260 Clare Court in Boulder. This neighborhood, Shannon Estates. Let's just start out by taking a little look here. This is one of the few neighborhoods, well, it is the only neighborhood. Oops, I can't turn the phone while it's live. That is our first thing. I should have started it. But this is the outside of our house, and the neighborhood, as you can see, has got a lot of old growth trees. These neighborhoods are from half an acre to a third of an acre. Our property here has a third of an acre. With this amount of land is what really makes this neighborhood unique. Look at our cars. We're going to walk in. So when we take a look, the first thing we're looking at the driveway, and just to prepare you, this house of ours we have lived in lovingly. My husband bought it 28 years ago, and then he and I married 14 years ago. We're both musicians. We've played a lot of music in this house. However, it's a project. There's some work to be done. And I'll show you that as we go. First thing is our driveway has got some settlement, a lot of cracks. We haven't done anything to repair that, right? So as we walk in, we see there's some cracks and some, I forget what they call that. I'm going to call it molting of the driveway service. This here is a porch, and you may not be able to tell it from this view, but this used to be the entrance to a garage, right? You can see that over here. That used to be the front door that you can look at. Let's see if I can zoom. Ooh, that took us back to me. Ah! There we go. That used to be the front door right there. But then this was the entrance to the garage. That garage many years ago, probably 40 years ago, I'm guessing, was converted into what is our living room. We've got, on the outside, we're going to continue with this exterior. It's a brick exterior. We've got some painting that could be updated here for you to see. One of the nice features is that we had the roof and gutter system completely replaced last year. So those were new in 2019. Nice dark colored roofing material, composite. We've got, I just got a little ladybug land on me. That's what I'm talking about. There's some work to be done. We have really gone for the au natural in the landscaping department, so that'll be one of your growth opportunities in this house. It's listed for $500,000, which in this neighborhood is a scream. We think we've got it priced for the condition because we're expecting that the person who's going to want to come in here is going to fix it up. We recently saw a sale in here for $630,000 in the neighborhood of Shannon Estates. All right. Sorry, I had a. Oh, check that out. Also, when we're showing properties and doing our remote, if you do come and take a look at one of our listings in person, we practice safe showings. Oh yeah, we'll offer you Clorox wipes. We're going to ask that all the buyers that come into the house go straight to the kitchen and give their hands a good scrub. So this is the entrance to our home. We put in these hardwood floors. You can see here that this used to be a garage, right? But whenever they put in turn this into a living room, they also added a wood burning fireplace. Look at us, we've got our Y2K stores of water. Woohoo! This is the first of the farts in the corners. We've got, and you're going to meet him a little bit, our dog Max, who is 14 years old. And last Christmas, we had a Christmas tree in here and our water bottles on the floor. And apparently he got really enthusiastic about what a tree in the house was to mean. So we've got some pet damage here. These wood floors were installed in 2014, I believe. So here are the wood floors, and they go all the way into this little kind of alcove area that we have where our couch is. There's a wall that goes all the way up to the top, so that's what creates an entranceway into the house. Right, so again, kind of our full 360 on this. Tall ceilings in here. There's an archway into the dining room. Wood floors. There's a little alcove that goes back in here, and you can see we have recessed that and put just some additional storage. Another one of our growth opportunities is this space down here. Never mind the garbage. You would really need to finish building this out if you wanted to turn that into a livable storage space, but it exists, and I'm going to guess that's who knows what. It goes back perhaps 3 feet, and it's 3 feet tall. So this is the house. We like bold colors. There's been a lot of music in this room. So now I'm going up the stairs. There's little Lucy Bell, our dog. She's wondering what's happening. Hello, Lucy. And in we come to our dining room. The dining room from this archway has got, that's a door that leads into the bedrooms, the 2 bedrooms up here on the main floor. This is a ranch with a basement. And then we've got some bold colors on the walls. This is kind of the 360 view of this, which brings us right back to the arch. And you can see there's a pass through here into the kitchen. A few things to note in this room, growth opportunities. Throughout the entire house, we've got old windows, right? The original aluminum windows, right? There, that would be my next project. Look at that. We've got our little guest wasp nest. That's outside, thank goodness. Whatever. Oh, that gives me the chills. And then this wall that the former owner built, these used to be, 70s love went mirrors, which we said enough of that and covered them in paint. There's popcorn ceiling in here. And then we are entering into the kitchen. We did, when we put in these wood floors, we also put in this tile floor in here, but I think we did a poor job with the grout, right? You see now, I think that we didn't seal it well enough. You have to really scrub it to get it clean, and then it gets dirty again. This is a decent quality tile that we got from a store that was going out of business, but I suspect that if you're going to keep this in here, you'll want to give it a good scrub and seal it again. We have not put here the border between these 2 floorings, so that's another growth opportunity. In the kitchen itself, here is kind of a round. We painted these, all of this paint on these cabinets in 2014, I want to say. The refrigerator here is included, as well as the stove. There is no dishwasher in this kitchen. Well, sure there is. There's Dwayne, but he's not staying with the house. Here we've got more of that same tile on the surface here. I'm not sure I would have done that again. Because again, the grout issue. So I'd be looking at maybe replacing this with some other type of surface. Excuse me. In here, when we put in these floors, we never put trim down here. So you can see there we need to have trim at the base of these cabinets. That's missing right now. Right. We also, at one point along the line, plugged in something into this electrical outlet, and it made a noise and gave us a flash. So we don't use that anymore, but we'll certainly want to have an electrician take a look at that. Andre, welcome. Andre just asked if the refrigerator is included with the home, and it is, as is the stove. The other things that are included are the washer and dryer downstairs, which we'll take a look at, and we are excluding the hot tub outside, as well as the freezer, stand-up freezer down there, and this microwave. Now our community is on a community well. The water is perfectly healthy, but it's hard. It's got a high mineral content, so we use El Dorado drinking water just because it's more pleasant, though the water's fine. So this is our kitchen. Now I'm going to take a little stroll into the bedroom suites. All right, again, more bold colors because that's how we fly, and it kind of takes a right, and then we are into the bathroom. This bathroom, we do not have a master bathroom. This is the only bathroom for the upstairs. More of the tile, more of the grouting issue. We need to have some type of separator again between these flooring types, and then this needs to be regrouted. We put in this cabinet and in here at the same time in 2014. This is what our kind of mirror looks like. And then we've got a jetted tub, but frankly, once I got the hot tub outside, I stopped using this, and I came through, I don't know, about a year ago to clean it. And when I turned it on, the motor didn't turn on. So I think that this thing needs a motor replaced. We've got our nice detachable shower head. That is the bathroom. I'm trying to do this with 360s, but without giving you all vertigo by going too fast. Now I'm going to go into the second bedroom up here. This is done in a little girl horse motif because it was our daughter's bedroom. Now I'm doing the surround. This has got a sliding door, double door, glass door to the backyard. And that is where we see said hot tub and my sarong. Woo-hoo. We've got a closet here with drapes rather than doors. We've got horse motif on the top. Again, these windows need to be replaced. We've got the nice hardwood floors throughout here. That is what makes this house really livable, even though there's work to be done. At least from my point of view, I love the wood floors. So again, looking from this view, to the left is the bathroom. To the right is that pass through back into the living room, and now that brings us into what we're going to call the master. We have a walk-in, but literally it's walk-in from the door into here. And this is one of the many funky little features. Here it is from the ceiling down. I'm guessing that this was wood panel at some point that we have painted over. And then we have what looks like maybe the old kitchen cabinets have been reinstalled in here for some additional storage. And then we've got up and down rods in both sides of this. So now I'm walking into the second half of it. There's a little step up. You've got one area here to hang clothing, some shelving area here, and then the up and down bars for hanging your clothing. That's our walk-in. Again, from this view, I'm looking right back out into that hallway, and now I'm taking a left into the bedroom. Surround. There is Max. Look at poor Max. He's 14. He is done with showings, I'll tell you. In here, we have, again, we need windows. It's fairly decent size in this room. That's a California king bed there. And I'm kind of walking backwards to give you a view of that doorway into the hallway. That is our master bedroom. Now I'm going to take you to the good. We've been doing the good, the bad. Now we're going to the ugly, which is the basement. Da-da-dum. That's danger music. Here we go. There's one of our kitty cats. That's little Annabelle. Right? From the kitchen, you take a step down. In this little entryway, we've got some cracked tiles, right? More of this same tile. We've got several of these downstairs if you wanted to use them to replace it. And then this is a door to the backyard, which we will end our tour with. We have the world's weirdest pantry here. This guy that we bought the house from 28 years ago built this down into what was probably originally, there's 2 steps down, and this was probably part of the garage, the interior entrance into the garage that's been enclosed. So there's quite a bit of storage in here, but it's ugly, no doubt about it. Look at the top there. Ugly, ugly. There we've got our Y2K stores. We are ready for shelter in place, baby. And then this is where we've been throwing everything else. So excuse our mess. Now we're going to head down the stairs. We've got this little gate here because old Max, if he gets down those stairs, he can't get back up again. Poor guy. And now we are going down the stairs. This is more of that wood panel that looks like it was that has been painted over, with a little pass through into the kitchen that you can see through here. My little the stairs here are coated in some type of kind of funky vinyl product that over the years has deteriorated. So you can see that there are holes in it, right? So at some point I would look at carpeting these or doing something with them. Now we go down the stairs, continue. This is the entrance into the first room in this basement. Public Records is loosely calling this a finished basement. You'll see why as we go. That's the stand-up freezer that is excluded from the sale. We're taking that with us because I like having a big freezer filled with food. So look, you see that damage to the flooring there. I'll tell you that. Well, I might as well tell you now. And you see this. It looks like, you know, this is ugly as could be. Ugly, right? Some little cork boards up there for our, I don't know what. And this is kind of the dimensions of the room. We're using this as a staging area for packing. Again, excuse the mess. Though I could say that of every one of these rooms, so maybe I'll stop. This flooring here, what happened, we've got a septic field, and it's old. I think it's probably the original septic, and we keep pumping it every 18 months, and it keeps producing for us and behaving well. But one year we had it pumped, and we didn't cover it that night, and there was a deep freeze. So the juncture between the house and the septic tank or the septic field froze solid. And when we were doing our laundry and we hit the rinse cycle, all of that rinse water came back into the house, right? So we spent a good 36 hours mopping and mopping and mopping and tending to that problem, but it left this damage, right? The other damage that it left potentially, look at these weird little built-in shelves, and then we go in here into our ugly laundry room. This used to be a jewelry making center. Dwayne has spent a lot of time doing that. Back here in this other staging area, if you go down here, is the sump pump. Not sure if it works because we haven't had to need it for several years. Lots of storage, really ugly, a lot of opportunity in here. The other damage that we saw done when we had that wash of water through here is that we found after a few months some organic growth down here. We've washed it and bleached it and haven't seen the reoccurrence of it, but we're going to suggest that you do a mold test on this to make sure that there's nothing existing. There was another little patch here where we did the same thing. No regrowth that we can see, but I'm not a mold guy. This is a furnace that we put in 2006, and it also has a heat pump. And for those of you who haven't used that type of a system before, a heat pump it will heat the house down to a low temperature like 25 or 30 degrees, and then the furnace kicks in. So it extends the life of the furnace and also makes it highly efficient. That furnace isn't kicking in unless it's really cold outside, you know, it's down near 30 or. We're continuing on down the hallway now. These are some cupboards made by the same lunatic who's done a lot of this other stuff. They're functional, but certainly not exciting. And then in here we take a right to a little hallway that leads down to the bathroom. There's some little shelving units, and we've got, oh, it looks like we got disconnected, but I'm back again. We've got a linen closet down here, and down here we've got a bathroom that we have not been using. We were getting ready to update it. It certainly needs updating. Look at, I would be replacing that whole shower. The toilet, there has been a leak under this sink. When we turned off the water, that leak went away, so I think it's probably in the drain, but I don't know, not being a plumber. Look at that. Could that be any uglier? There's my hand. So you'll absolutely need to do some work down here. Here we've got one of the bedrooms down here, which is non-conforming. This was the teenager beast's room. The carpet down here, I would say, is seen its last days. We've got kind of a built-in desk affair, and there's some wood paneling. You can see you're going to do some work in here. We've got some damage to the walls where the then 13, 14-year-old was experimenting with hammers in the bedroom. Who, go figure. This is a non-conforming bedroom because it's a non-conforming basement bedroom. Here it is, painted a pleasing blue. Here's our little closet, no doors on it. Here's our round. Again, it's non-conforming because it doesn't have egress windows. Both these windows are broken. We bought replacement windows to put in there, and there's kind of some built-in. Okay, looks like we've got a poor connection. That's glitch number one. I'm going to give you just a quick swing through this ugly storage area we've got down here. It's ugly, but boy, look at all that crap that it'll hold. So we've got old taxes and ski equipment and whatever else you want to have in here. So this is a storage area that if you spiffed it up would hold some stuff nicely. So now I'm going to head back upstairs. Like I said, we replaced the roof a few years ago. You've got some updating that could be done. One of the big features about this neighborhood that really is appealing is the size of these lots, right? Excuse me. So I'm heading out the door now. So this is the view from the back door. We've got this big old shed that we've built that again is filled with a bunch of crap. Here from the back porch you can see we pulled out a bunch of dead trees last year. So now we've got some pines and some aspen. There used to be some old cottonwood, but those we pulled out, which will save you a big expense. There's your neighbor. This is 1/3 of an acre back here, and here's our back porch. The back porch has also had a little bit of settlement, not the whole porch, but just that back door, because we had a gutter that failed, and I procrastinated about replacing it until last year. So this whole slab back here has settled and done some cracking, so you'll need to look at repouring that slab at some point. This house, when we put in the furnace, we put in a new electrical service. This is a 200 amp service. So you got plenty of juice in here to do whatever you want to do with it. Which right now is my hot tub. All right. What else? This is the there's some Aztec, whatever. It is a nice big yard, isn't it, Andre? And I'm losing my signal here a little bit. We'll see if I hold out. Back here, buried in all of this growth, is what we had, a little deck back there. Right? That's where Dwayne got married one of the times. The second time he got married to me. So now let's take another swing around and take a look at the back from here. Those are our neighbors. The other thing about this is great neighbors. We've got, heading in that direction, we've got a family with a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old, and the next family down has got an 18-month, then a little 7-month-old. Our neighbor here is a retired nurse. This is a good, solid community that we've really enjoyed living in. So this has been the experience of our first remote showing. Anybody have about of the property? All right, well then I'm going to call this a wrap. We're also going to be posting this thing. Thank you so much for joining me. This is a great house, and I think at $500,000, even with the stuff that you have to do, given that the most recent sale was that 630 house that for $630,000 that has is the same size as ours, above grade, but doesn't have a basement, and also that 1,300 and some change square footage above grade, and then that full basement that could, and this huge fabulous yard. So thank you so much for joining us. We've made a lot of music in this house. I've enjoyed being here my entire married life, and now we're downsizing because look at all these gray hairs. Talk to you soon, and thanks for joining us.